Yes, sir.
Over these years that I've grown up watching you, and
Hold on.
Like, how many years we talking about? it's blending in with the new crew.
Look, well, all right, I get that. Oh, go ahead.
So you grew up watching this thing.
I said the years that I've grown.
She looks like she looks like she's 20 something years.
While you playing, I was getting to that. Look, don't try to act like I'm just young now. I'm not young. I'm not.
You are.
Next thing he's going to tell me when I was in first grade.
When I was in first grade, I remember looking. Nah, it was nothing like that. So let me. So when she was 20, I was 17. How about that?
Okay.
That sounds better.
Okay.
Okay, y'all know I'm lying, right?
That's all right.
I'll just play. Look, so over that time, just watching you on television and hearing my mother say, "Look, I'm not about to miss the news. Now, Don's gonna be on now." I'm like, "Mama," and back then, as a child, you didn't really pay attention to the news because your mentality wasn't there. I just wanted to party and stuff like that. But I remember the time when my mother said, "Mark, I need you to get in the car with me." I got in the car, and it's because you had just reported that third ID was about to head off. So the thing with me growing up is, the local kids and the military guys, it was always some type of animosity because we were locals and they're military, right? So
I didn't know that.
Yes, of course, because everybody wanted to compete for women.
Well, there are always enough of us to go around.
Yeah.
It's 1%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No matter
Right.
where you live.
Yeah, that is true. But when she did that, she did it for a purpose. You announced that they were leaving Fort Stewart and they were transporting to Hunter Army Airfield. And my mother rushed me down there. That's when they didn't have all these gates and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. She rushed me down there, and the airfield had a visibility. And she made me get out of the car, and I'm like, "What are we doing?" And I saw all of these men and women, and they were just roaring. They were like, "All right, it's time to go." And they were yelling, and you could just feel the energy. And then them guys and ladies, they rushed on them, what do you call it, the Hueys with the back flap?
Yeah, with the two.
Man, they were landing and taking off. Landing and taking off. And I know my mother wouldn't have known it was going down if Don didn't report on it. And it really changed my perspective on how I started feeling about the military. I had to really get a hold of myself and understand that these folks are putting a lot on the line. They're putting a lot on the line.
Yep.
So just from you and that day getting that message across to the public, it made a big difference because that changed my standpoint on how I felt. Seriously did. And I know it's a lot of other folks that you've changed as different moments at different times. And me, well, my brothers know, I like to recognize people for who they are. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of people that are in higher positions get recognized, or they're in politics, they get recognized. But what about our community leaders? What about the people that could give us a message and stand up for what they believe in? Because I've seen you stand up for a couple things. There's been a couple times Don almost went off on air. Y'all just don't know it, y'all. She didn't agree with some stuff, but she let us know what was going on. And I just want to applaud you for that. I really do. Now, let's get into some nitty gritty.
Okay.
So you're a native of Riceburg. Mm-hmm. How was it growing up in Liberty County?
Oh my gosh, it was the best. That was the best part of my life. Growing up in Riceboro with my grandparents, just to let you know, my mom, everyone's from Riceboro, from here. And when my mom got a job as a teacher back then, she couldn't get a job in Liberty County. Her job opportunity was in Chatham County in Savannah.
Okay.
And she wasn't going to take that job because she had a little girl. I was 2.5 years old. My parents divorced.
Uh-huh.
And so my dad wasn't in my life at all.
Okay.
And my grandfather and my grandmother insisted that you take that job, because here we're talking about in the 60s. there weren't a lot of opportunities that, maybe something else would have even come along for her. And so the arrangement was that I was going to stay with my grandparents while she came to Savannah and worked. So I had the most amazing childhood because my grandparents were.
This
You
for
can-
you. This for you.
They spoiled me, but that's not the reason I think that they were so great. They were honestly some of the smartest people I've ever met in my life, but yet they never were formally educated. My grandfather went to the second grade. They were born in 1906 and 1908. My grandmother, third grade. And they were to me, they were naturally smart. I always think about what would have happened if they had a chance to have a fraction of the opportunities that I've had,
Right.
But it was a wonderful, they loved us. They were tough on us. My grandfather was one of those people, when you didn't do right, he told you. And I'll never forget, I was so excited about a C I got in geometry, because honestly, was the first C I had gotten in high school. And I was I was proud because I didn't understand what the lady was saying. So I was an accomplishment to me, and he looked at me and he said, well, baby, anybody can sit in the classroom and get a C. That was the last C I brought home in school. When I got to college, I got a couple of those, because that was kind of crazy too. But I will tell you, the best thing is Riceboro taught me the sense of community and just the giving back. And we didn't call it community service or volunteerism, but when people on that road, back then it didn't have a name. It was just we lived at Route 1, Box 345. I remember to this day.
Route 3, Box 330 was mine. Go ahead.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Okay. And what I saw with them is they worked hard. When people in the neighborhood had a problem, they just moved in and did it. Nobody needed, to be called a hometown hero. It's what they did.
Yes.
My grandfather had, I guess you'd call it a small farm today, but it really wasn't. He grew some vegetables. We had some pecan trees, and we had a chicken coop. So there was a man down the road who had the hog pen. So they swapped sometimes.
Okay.
And I remember the great part of it is just the people. Everybody wanted you to do well. And it was that time too where you knew if you acted up down the road, that lady there was going to get you straight.
Yes.
Yep.
And then call
Yep.
by the time you got
Yes.
So and along the road, somebody else may have said that you do better than that.
Word.
So it was really wonderful. It was truly that village that we talk about now, that sometimes we're so busy being private and nobody better say anything to my child. And that's what kept all of us on the straight and narrow, because we knew, as my grandfather would always say, when you walk out of the store, you're representing me. As a kid, you didn't quite understand that, but when you went out there, you knew the word was going to get back before you got home.
Right.
Yes.
And they always said, what you do in the dark shall come to light. But Riceboro was great. We rode the school buses over to Hinesville, because the schools in Riceboro had closed by the time I came along. So it was a long bus ride trip. And back in that time, we're talking about the 70s, when people found out that I was from Riceboro, and all of us were from Riceboro, they really didn't think that we would be able to achieve what the city kids, the Hinesville kids, would be able to achieve, because we were from the country.
Right.
We were poor, and then they learned that my parents were divorced. Back then, single moms were not celebrated the way that they are now. People acted like it was
Like
some
a stigma.
awful thing, that, like you didn't know who your dad was. I knew who my dad was, and it wasn't my mom's fault or my fault why he chose not to be a part of my life. And that's fine. God put my strong grandfather in my life, who was like Superman. I never longed for him. My grandfather had brothers. He was one of 11 brothers. He had a sister. We had cousins, and we all grew up, everybody looking out for each other, and everybody would get you straight too.
Yeah.
When you stepped out of line. And I think that's the reason that we became so resilient, our generations, because there was that,
Right.
Yes. And to add to that, she's right, man. I never figured it out. I was like, okay, I get in trouble at school. Now, I did know that all of them at the school I was mostly related to. Okay.
Oh.
But this is the thing that got me. I would get in trouble for something that I would think is minute. I'd be like, my parents ain't gonna hear about that. Let me walk in that door.
Oh, yeah.
And I used to tell, because my dad would have a face of, he had a good poker face, but my mama was terrible. She was terrible. I would walk in that door and she would literally just give me fear, because I look at her and she'd be like, I'm like, Mom, what you looking down for? What you...
She know what's coming.
What?
Why?
And that shows you the tight-knit community that you're speaking of, because they would call right after the incident happened.
Right.
On the road, it was the
right.
on that phone.
Yeah.
So
And it was a party line.
huh?
You look at you, so young.
Yeah. Oh,
5 families or so connected to, they called it the phone trunk at that time. So if you called my house, it rang at all 5 families' homes.
Oh wow.
And so you'd pick up the phone, everybody's like, hello? And like, may I speak to Dawn? And they'd hang up the phone, and everybody just hang up until somebody in that house answered the phone, they gave you the phone. Now, the flip side of that is that you never had any privacy. Because they learned how to touch that button on the phone and ease it up, so they sat and listened to the
Just listen
conversation.
to everything.
So there were some ladies in church, I'll never forget this, they would listen to the teenagers talk and then tell the parents what they were up to.
oh no. Man, they were eavesdropping like the CIA.
Exactly.
Wow.
This was before social media.
Yeah, right?
This is the original social
You had to use your mind in order
I
to.
know. What you're saying hits home so hard. See, I grew up in Africa,
Uh-huh.
in Lagos. There was no phone.
Uh-huh.
There was no school bus. You got to walk
That's right.
to school and walk back. It's like 5-6 miles. But there's nothing. Everybody, we don't have no shoes, some of us. But if you do something in school,
Yeah.
like 10 minutes before you get home, you'll be like, Bigger,
Uh-huh.
why did you do that? I'm like, how you know?
They are all knowing.
And then the worst part is they will whoop you, and then your parents are waiting.
Uh-huh.
You got
Like,
another one.
Mama and Papa already fighting over what you do.
Don't beat him
And then
so
Mama
bad.
be like, normally she will come, hey baby, welcome home. Here's your food. She will look at you.
You knew.
She'll be like, oh God. I'm dead.
Hey, Bingo, you can't be telling your stories compared to ours. Yours be rough. He's like, sometimes we did not have shoes. We had to walk 2 miles to school.
Listen, but you go over there now, of course, there's some areas in those villages where the same thing is happening.
Oh,
I
yes.
went with Dr. Wasu to Nigeria, and we had to fly into Lagos.
Okay.
And Lagos is the bustling city,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know. all the-
Oh, yeah, they
But as
work
we
with
got
me.
out into Ajali, which is where he was from.
Abuja.
Abuja.
Well, Abuja's a nice place.
Yeah.
Ajali is where
Okay.
he was from. And you saw everybody walking, and the ladies with the babies strapped
Yes.
to them.
Yes.
And in the
The
back.
baskets and stuff on their heads, and they have the most amazing posture. But you know what? We're always worried about losing 5 pounds. If we live there, we would.
Look, who you playing with?
So many. I just wish sometimes that when I came back from the medical mission, I'm sorry to get off track.
No, you're fine.
But I really wish that there was somehow I had some way that I could take American kids to places like. Yeah.
I tell them that, I mean, it's amazing. I wish if I had the money and the power, every American person, I just need them to spend like 1 month.
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't know if they'd make it a week.
They won't. But
Don, we got folks. We got folks. I'm sorry, Bingo. We got folks saying we love you, Don.
Oh.
Look, it's coming all through the stream, so I just wanted to let you know that. But
Lot of love,
I
lot of
apologize for interrupting.
I'm just saying, people need to understand where you are.
Right.
You're blessed.
Mm-hmm.
But most people don't realize it, especially here, because
There's a safety net.
it's safety net.
Yes.
There's no safety net.
Mm-hmm. And that's something that look. Hey man, we ain't supposed to be doing. Look, we supposed to be bragging on Don. Look.
Let me just say one thing to the people who were on the live stream. Thank you for tuning in, and honestly, thank you so much for supporting me through the years. Because honestly, I would have never survived if it weren't for my community embracing me from
Yes.
the very beginning.
Yes.
Wow.
And, yes, like everybody else who has a career, I try to work hard and be as objective as I possibly can, because that's what my job entails. But I also try to work with the community, and I just want them to know that to this day, many people don't realize when they're doing all these good things in the community, they need to call and let us know, because we don't know. And oftentimes when they don't tell us, then you hear about it on social media, and it's that perception that all the media doesn't care. I think it's good that we give the impression that we know everything, but we don't. So I need you to reach out and call those newsrooms. Email me. You go to the website, WTOC.com, look for the team, and you could just email me directly. And at least if I know, I can lobby to try to get you some coverage. If I don't know, And if you don't tell us, you know we won't be there. But if you let me know, there's probably an 80% chance if we have the staffing, we're going to be there and cover your event.
Ah, okay. That's
great to
awesome to
know.
know.
Yeah.
And this just solidifies exactly why we're here honoring her. Do you understand? She's giving you a message that they're here for us. They're here for us. Every day she's on that screen looking wonderful, but at the same time she's doing work in her community. That brings me to a couple of organizations that we're going to get to later that she's done, and just to know how much you've dedicated. Just to know how much you've dedicated, because I'm gonna be real, and my brothers know this about me, the Kings. I like realness. Do I not?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I just feel like we have to start at our base. We have to start here and uplift our people here that's been uplifting us, whether we knew it or not. And this is a person that has done that. And right now, I want to bring in someone where a moment to them changed them for a lifetime. So I want to bring in Amiana. Hey, Amiana. Yeah, welcome Amiana to the set. So
Get this out your way.
How are y'all?
we're good. We're good. Look, Don is like, who is this? Who is
She's
this
such
again?
a beautiful young lady. How you doing? It's nice to meet
This
you.
young lady, she's so beautiful.
Yes, she is.
Yes.
And you need to let me shake her hand. Nice to meet you.
Do you remember me? Do I look familiar?
Your face looks
Well,
very familiar. I'm trying to figure out where I know you from.
Amiana, scoot up a little bit to the mic, and we're about to show you, Don, where you remember her, because this is a moment that she remembered. If I can get my engineer to pull that up for me real quick.
Oh my
Oh.
God!
Look, this is Don Baker.
I was 11 going on 12 years old.
Yes,
Oh
yes.
my God!
Look,
That was a beautiful day.
Yes.
And I was so excited. You know, I brought my little book. I was my little self-published
yes,
book.
yes.
And you signed it, and I just felt like I'd met a celebrity.
Oh
I
my
was like, oh my
goodness.
God.
Yes, you look.
Look, you did.
That is
You
so
did.
sweet. Though. I will tell you, that day was so big for me because Mr. Baycoat had invited me to come out. You know, I'd done stories through the years. It's like, oh, we're having the Gichikund? No,
Geechee Kundu.
Yeah.
Or Rice Fest. Is it? That's the one you're
it's
talking
another
about?
festival he used to have. Rice Fest, wasn't there. But anyway, it was a big festival that they were having. And I was like, well, okay, I'll be happy to come. It was amazing. So many people, so much great history, and just so much pride. And, you know, growing up in Riceboro, and especially the time I did, no one talked about all the great history there. And so seeing young people like you who not necessarily were excited about me coming out of I always call it the little idiot box. that we come out of. But the fact that you were interested in the fact that I was trying to do something to help young ladies,
Yes.
and you were, all of you all were just so smart and patient with me, and you know, allowed me to have my moment to, because I was so nervous that day.
Really?
I didn't even write in my regular handwriting because my hand was shaking. I was trying to act like I'm used to this.
Oh my gosh. But no, it was very inspirational for me just to see like another woman of color like in a position like that. Like I didn't know anything about that. And then it's like seeing you on TV and then I'm looking at you in the face. I was like, whoa.
Well, I was just as excited as you were because when I wanted to write the little book, you know, you do these heart things, these passion projects. You never know if anybody really connect with it.
Yeah.
And some people think that reading is not cool anymore, so
Yeah.
you just don't ever know. But I'm so happy that you came today. You just made my day, and you had that same little face.
Right. And the book with Don's daughters. Don,
Yes.
one other thing that you didn't know was my daughter participated in Don's daughter.
No.
Yes, Tazavia, and she was going to try to make it to be here. She was unable to, but it changed her. She used to come home and talk about it, and my daughter's very, very shy. Now, when she went to Don's Daughters, they used to do the spirit dance and everything that they do at church, the praise dance, excuse me, the praise dances at church. And I always wanted to bring her out of her shell. After Don's Daughters, it was like she's still the shy person, right? But when it was time for her to get on set,
Turned it on.
I'm talking about everything from speaking, because she'll walk up so quiet and reserved, and she said, "Hi, I'm Todd Xavier, and I'm here to tell you about me." And I'm like, what is going on? So it is those things that you'll never realize, and you're not supposed to realize it because you're doing it out of the goodness of your heart, right? But it has to come a time where these things come back to you so you can know that the things that you've done in the past contributed to the present.
Absolutely.
And Amiana, is there anything special that you would like to say to Don about how the experience you've had, and even with the book?
Yeah.
Did you read the book?
I didn't finish it, but I.
Ooh, no, you didn't just come on live.
I have to be honest.
I know.
I didn't
had
finish
10
it, but
years.
I was thinking. I was telling my grandmother that. I was just like, oh my gosh. But what I did read was so impactful. Like, I've always been somebody who aspired to have, more for myself than what was going on at the time. And as far as like what I've learned out of the book, it was more so how to carry myself, how to have that confidence, like even from the stories that were in there about, people falling and having to get back up and that resilience and stuff like that. That's a big thing that I took from that. And there's not anything that could stop me.
Ooh.
There's not anything that could
That's
stop
nice.
me.
That's so good.
You
to
got
know.
it.
Yes.
You got. Well, listen, you didn't even have to read the whole thing if you got all that, because that's really what it was about. I was not blessed with children of my own, and when I was a young lady at your age, in newsrooms or wherever I was always the person who people would ask me advice, and I'd tell them how I felt, what they should do. Then I'd say, well, you didn't ask your mom? Oh, my mom doesn't know. And it was very weird. So I think, sometimes some of us are born with that old person spirit.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because
But
I
it
was an only
nurturing.
child.
It was nurturing.
And so it's just always been an honor to me that anybody would ask me advice on anything. But then again, I always wanted to go back and look it up to make sure I gave them the right thing.
Yeah.
But to me, it's just that, we could get so far in life if we all realize that we have everything we need inside of us.
Yes.
It's not special people who achieve a lot. It's hardworking people. It's people
Right.
who find that voice like your daughter. Even though some people are shy, it takes all of us to make the world. And you can't always have big outgoing people like me
Yes.
everywhere, because then sometimes people won't listen.
Right.
Yes.
We need that
Soft-spoken
person
and-
soft-spoken to bring them in. We need to work together. And what I
Absolutely.
really want, in addition to all those things you talked about from the book, is to let young women know that we don't need to be upset when another beautiful woman walks in the room. And that's women of all races.
Absolutely.
In TV, I have worked with very few people who look like me. And I remember so many times within a week of someone being new and hearing young ladies say, I don't even like her.
You don't even know that person.
But everybody assumes because, I have a nice dress for work because I just came here from work, that everything is perfect in my life. No one has a perfect life.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
what you feel, what you may be looking for in a successful life is going to be different than me, but it's not my job to judge if that's not good enough.
Right.
Yeah.
We have to be confident to just be aware that we all have something to contribute.
Yes, and pull
But we
each
have to
other
work
up.
hard.
Yes.
We have to build each other
That's
up.
it.
Because
Yes.
at the end of the day, you might have something that somebody else, your strength might be someone's weakness, and your weakness might be somebody's strength. And so when you
Yes.
come together, you have that balance. Now you can get more done.
Amen. That's right.
Speaking of done, that's her name. Done. She gets it done.
Yes, I get it done.
Yeah.
I love that. And the thing too that I just want everybody to know is that by you doing well doesn't mean that there's anything less about me.
Exactly.
I want people to realize who they are as individuals and work to become the best Dawn, the best Mark, the best whomever. And
Yes.
that doesn't mean that you're better than. It means that you're the best version of yourself.
Right. You should always be in competition with,
With
who you
yourself.
were yesterday or,
Yes.
so.
So, Don, we have something that we'd like to show you because there's more people in Liberty County that would like to tell you thank you. So we're going to do this right now. And everybody, pay attention to your screen. And here we go.
Don, you know I love you. You make me Liberty County proud, even though you came out of Savannah. I want you to know that we consider you a Liberty County. I'm so proud of you. I've been proud of you for many, many years. You brought so much to the Coastal Empire. You have been so very important to us as listeners, but also for your work outside of Channel 11. You've always been there. And so, anytime, anywhere, it's always Don Baker, Queen of the Coastal Empire.
Hey, this is Don Baker. This is Jeff Osteen. I'm the Liberty County State Court Judge. Just want to thank you and let you know that you're appreciated for all that you do for the Coastal Empire, to include Liberty County. And we look forward to you providing what you do so well for years to come. Thank you.
Hello, Don. This is Michael McGirt, Chief Magistrate Judge of Liberty County, Georgia. This is my appreciation to you and giving you your flowers now for all of your hard work, commitment, and dedication to all of the Coastal Empire region. As a native of Riceboro, Georgia, I appreciate you. Keep raising the bar and keep setting the standard, as you are a true inspiration to many.
Hello, this is Donald Lovett, Chairman of the Liberty County Board of Commissioners. I want to join others to send out a shout out to our friend, our professional, our fellow Liberty Countian, right from Riceboro, Don Baker. Don, we've taken the time over the years to watch you grow and grow into the fine TV journalist that you are. We are so very proud of you. We wish you many years of future success. So from all of us here in Liberty County and from Riceboro, we shall never forget to keep the lights on for you. And you make us Liberty County proud.
Hey Don, what's going on? You know who this is. This is your favorite, whatever should we say, family? How you doing? This is Councilman Malcolm Wilson Midway. But you know what? Every time I think about you, I think Liberty County proud. I just want to say thank you for all that you do for the surrounding counties. And we love you, we love you. Keep up the outstanding work. Liberty County proud. Take care.
Hello, Ms. Don Baker. I am Jeremy Cunningham, the president of the 11 Black Men of Liberty County. I know you may not know who I am, but I certainly know who you are, because you are truly a trailblazer of Liberty County. You have set the path for so many to follow, and for that, ma'am, we truly say thank you. We will continue to follow those footsteps, and we will always be humble for the things that you have done.
I got it, Mr. Lovett.
God bless, and have a wonderful, wonderful week, ma'am.
Hey, Don, this is Petula Go Million, the executive director with Atlantic Area Casa. You remember me, your short friend that always bug you for our Dancing with the Stars, for you to be our host. I just want to say thank you for everything that you have done for the community of Hinesville and actually for the entire Coastal Empire. We just want to thank you so much, Don. You know you are my go-to girl. I appreciate you, and we love you here at Atlantic Area Casa. Dawn, on behalf of myself and my staff here at Atlantic Area Casa, thank you.
Don, look, coming from everybody here in Liberty County, and there's other counties too, but we want to recognize you because you're a part of us.
Oh, yeah.
You represent us. And as you can see, everybody knows it. And we want you to know it also. So I am one that believes in giving you your flowers now.
There's a flower right here.
Look.
Oh, my
see,
Lord.
that's a flower that you helped sprout.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? You helped sprout so many flowers, and you just don't recognize it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm for real. Your Don's Daughter program, you had girls in there that might have been outgoing. They might have been extroverts, but you had girls that were introverts. And the impact, you won't see it on their faces then, but the confidence that you gave them, just by them knowing someone cares and someone in your position cares, that you had enough time to take out with them, to let them know, hey, you have the power and I have your back. With people just knowing that they got to speak to you, it makes a difference. It makes a huge difference. So, Don, on behalf of the Black Kings, I want to say thank you. I want to tell you that we do love you, and we want you to continue more and more years of the service that you're giving us. And when I say I want to give you your flowers, I mean that.
Literally.
Literally.
Every girl loves flowers. Thank you.
Don, that is for you.
Thank you so much.
Kings. And we do. I do have something else, but you know how this economy works. Sometimes they don't want to get the work done fast enough. So I will be delivering you something else. It'll probably be here next week. So forgive me on that.
No, listen, I didn't come expecting anything. It really was an honor because I met Mr. Mosley at a Christmas parade, because I do the Christmas parade here in Hinesville. And
Yes.
you were with a lady who started talking to me first, and we must have talked for 40 minutes that night before I left to come back after the parade. And just such a positive person. So I was just honored that you even asked me to come and have a conversation. Let me tell you, all these people who just spoke, first of all, Representative Williams and Malcolm have just been such great friends to my family since before I was born, Mr. Representative Williams. And also Miss Gomillion. That's my girl. I love her. Mainly because she makes me feel so tall too. Because I'm barely 5'4" myself, and I get to laugh at her big old high heels she wears, and she's a tiny little thing. But I will tell you, it's just I would have not been able to do the Leadership Academy if it had not been for my mom. My mom is a Riceboro girl, little account baker, and I talked about wanting to do this, and she has been my right hand ever since. And when you work 3 to midnight Monday through Friday, there's not a whole lot of time for administrative, and I couldn't do it without her. So when the girls come to the program, what's great is they get a spare grandma too, because my mom always does a session. She's there with me from beginning to end every time. It has been just amazing to me, honestly. I really just wanted to, just help, because I was really worried about what I saw happening with young women who were adults, young women who were coming up. And I think so many people, young people like me who don't come from a 2-parent family, girls start thinking that they have to find that man, and they allow themselves to be mistreated. And I, number one, wanted to let them know that all these male role models that we need, father figures, are usually right there in our families. They're the uncles, the grandfathers. Sometimes it's that trusted church member or your pastor. You don't have to sell yourself short. And you deserve to be loved. And even if you don't find that perfect mate in the boyfriend or the husband, just know that you're worthy, and you're still have a lot to contribute, even though you don't have the traditional life. Because when I was coming up, if a woman didn't get married, I got married. I'm divorced. A woman didn't have a child, people didn't think anything of you. I remember in the mid 2000s speaking at a church service, and I was in the fellowship hall right there in Savannah, and the minister asked me, how many children did I have? And I said, I don't have any kids. And he went off quoting Bible scriptures about how I was not fulfilling the word of God because I did not have children. Wow. Now, because I decided to be what I consider a moral woman, when my marriage failed and I didn't have kids, I'm not going to be out here just having some baby to say I had a baby. And now I have a burden that a lot of women have and wish they could go turn back on. Not the child, but mispicking the wrong, saying yes to the wrong guy.
There you go.
You said it once. You're very selective about who you let in your life the next time. But it's just really sad that there's still those ancient views. And we have to realize that, no, I don't have this traditional family, but I have a family. I have people who I love and care about. And it's been the greatest thing to have perfect strangers like you come into a room at the Leadership Academy. I didn't know anything about these young ladies, but what it blessed my heart to see that I was able to bring people who were very different together. different races, different economic backgrounds. I had young ladies who were coming out of a mobile home park, sitting right next to ladies in a gated community. We had a young lady from that Richmond Hill Ford plantation, and she made friends with one of the young ladies who came out of one of the housing areas in Savannah. So when you bring people together of all ages, we're all the same. We want the same. And we have to get over this whole thing about, she's got more money, her parents have more money,
Right.
or she's white or she's black, and us poor black people, she's light skinned, she's
That's right.
her hair is good. Everybody's hair is good if it's on your head.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
And we are all beautiful. We make up this beautiful rainbow. But I'm just overwhelmed that, number one, when we started Leadership Academy, I didn't know if anybody would come. And I had 28 girls the first year, and I was really excited. And we've been averaging like 58 girls or so, 58 to 60 each year. Now, what I'm hoping to do is get us back on track this year. Because in COVID, we did 2 years of online. And my mom got really sick. And honestly, I couldn't focus on anything else. I said, I'm going to have to hope these little birdies can fly. Because right now we're on a journey that I didn't expect we would be on.
Right.
And my mom's such a smart, strong warrior and so much faith. I've learned so much over the last 3 years from her, just seeing her not be 100%. And people talk about, how I love the Lord, and they do all this big braggadocious stuff. But she just kept her head down. She said her own prayer. She said, I don't want anybody to know. Because people mean well, but they like to call and they tell you about everybody they know who died with the condition you have. She said, and they do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She said, I have to follow these rules and make sure I can win this race.
Yes.
And it's just been such an inspiration to me. So this year, my plan is International Girls' Days in October.
Okay.
I'm hoping to have a big event and invite whoever wants to come, all the girls come to, I think we're gonna be at the Discovery Center in Savannah. And it's a big room that we could get in, and we're gonna do a one-day session, and we're gonna hopefully change some lives and be the kickoff for June of next year, that we can go back to our regular week-long program. But I'm gonna tell you, I've been blessed in so many ways, and I thought I was on top of the world when I started giving that little scholarship out.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's my daughter.
But it's
I got
important.
but I never thought that I would feel like even prouder and how much I would get from being around young ladies. Like, you all just need sometimes somebody else to know, other than mom and dad and grandparents, that you're important, that you're special, that we care.
Right.
We care. We want you to be all you want to be and more.
Yes, ma'am.
Dawn.
Thank you.
I heard what you said, and the thing that got me is your family. You have so many daughters. You have so many daughters. It's amazing. Because I heard you said about the situations and everything, but the product of what you've created is so much greater than the things that you've been through. And right now, I'm about to try to kind of volunteer somebody. Because, we have the 11 black men, right? 11 black men, a lot of those young men, they have young ladies in their family also.
We do.
That could use that inspiration that you provided so much of. So I know y'all gonna get mad, but that's all good. I'm ready for the smoke. But I want to see if the 11 black men would be interested in talking to the Dawn's Daughters program to collaborate on something, and something I want to let all of our queens out there know right now, and it's coming straight from me. You don't understand how much some of us men, really a lot of us men, have your back. Just like y'all have our back. That unity is great. Ignorance, we all know there's ignorance out there. You just got to know how to get into the circle of being around the people that you want to be in your life. Okay? So everybody, we have unification between us. We can't let little things that have been created by other folks to divide us. We can't let that conquer us. Understand that. Today we honor a queen. She is the head news anchor on WTOC, but she's the head anchor of the Coastal Empire also. So I know we have run long. I know, look, Dawn has been working all week, and she wasn't expecting to really work this weekend, but I heard she had to work some too. And she found time to come here to spend it with us. Don, I am so honored. And if there's anything that I can do or the Black Kings can do, we stand with you. And now we got the sophistication. We have the this is the sophisticated New Yorker. And then we got me. Look, I'm with all the smoke, Dawn. So it is what it is. So any problems you have or any things you want us to help with, we are here. And so is Liberty County. Y'all hear me?
Yes.
We stand behind Dawn Baker. Do I need to say it in my Al Williams voice? Look, if you're a part of Liberty County, we stand with Dawn Baker. And if you don't believe it, this is Al Williams speaking right here on Black Kings. So, to all my kings and queens out there, I thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you stopping by, and stop by again next week. But today, show love. Y'all know where to go, WTOC.com. Y'all want to show love there? You better find that link to where you can put in all your reviews and talk about how awesome our Coastal Empire Queen is. All right? So, this is Black Kings with free game, and we're